Folks, here's some flight video from this weekend's races. Nothing official, just a fun little course that we set up over the weekend. And I am flying the Flynoceros Canis M4. You may have been wondering why you're not seeing more of this copter since I did the video where I moved the electronics from the QQ190 over to the Canis. And the answer to that is that I've been having a weird little gyro glitchy vibration issue that will be a topic of another video. But suffice it to say, I got it solved and I finally got this copter flying pretty much how I like it. I'm flying it with about 40 degrees of up tilt and a 2.1 millimeter lens. The reason I'm flying a 2.1 is that my GoPro 2.5s don't seem to fit correctly on this Swift. I know that a lot of you guys have that working. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. A topic for another video. That wide angle lens sure does help through these trees right here. Help you get a straight line instead of a curvy line and really make the most of getting in tight there. So I really do like it. The full setup details, of course, are down in the video description. But I am going to take this opportunity to complain one more time about the one thing I didn't like about the Canis M4, and that is that there's no good place, in my opinion, to mount the video transmitter. I actually got to meet Josh Ingram, who is the Flynoceros guy, when I was in San Antonio. By sheer coincidence, everyone I seem to be talking to lately lives in San Antonio, where I went on a business trip. And he said, oh no, here's how I mount it, and he showed me how he mounted his. It was on the bottom side of the bottom plate, and the battery keeps it from getting knocked about, and it just doesn't feel right to me. During this day of flying, here's what happened to my video transmitter. It slipped down between the two sort of roll bars, and it broke the connector. So this is kind of, I mean, at the very least, it needs a carbon or a plastic plate on top to mount the video transmitter to. I know some of the other guys who fly these frames have said they like to mount their video transmitter direct to the flight controller stack, and I really don't like the idea that something like the antenna, which is hanging out the outside of the frame, could be pulling on the flight control stack, which is not the most structurally sound thing. I just don't like that idea, and it's just not how I want to mount it. So I'm going to keep flying this frame for now. I'm having a good time, and it's great as a little sort of more hardcore racing copter than my QAVR, which is set up more for freestyle, and it just doesn't go as fast because it doesn't have as much up tilt for one thing. But I'm going to make some kind of I'm just going to get a piece of plastic or something and zip tie it to the top and mount my video transmitter to that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but this just proves that I was right to me about that this is not a good way to mount the video transmitter. Anyway, there we go. I still like the frame. It still has the same flaw that I thought it would. Turns out I was right the whole time. How about that? Who would have seen that coming? Happy flying.